Hey everyone, it's me, Miss Bellman. This is the Unit 3 Lesson 12 homework, and in this we will be either multiplying or dividing. We just got to be ready for both. So 12 divided by 13, I could just write as 12 divided by 13 or 12/13ths, because I know I'm dividing, which is going to be multiplying by the reciprocal. 8 divided by 1/2, 8 over 1, multiplied by 2 over 1, is equal to 16. So that's like if I had 8 of something, how many halves would I have? 1/2 divided by 8 is going to give me a very different answer. So 1/2 multiplied by 1/8, which is the reciprocal, is 1/16. Now for my next row, because I'm going to go for a lot of colors here, 2/5 multiplied by 3/8, I multiply straight across and I get 6/40, which I can simplify down to because 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 20 times, so it's 3/20. 14 divided by 1/3. 14 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1, again the reciprocal, is 42 over 1. That's like saying, how many thirds does 14 have? 1/5 divided by 10 is the same thing as 1/5 multiply by 1/10, which is equal to 1/50. 1 1/3 multiplied by 2 1/4. I'm still trying to figure out this screen thing, but that's okay. So I'm going to turn this into an improper fraction. 3 multiplied by 1, the whole number, and add 1 is 4/3 multiplied by 9/4, which is 4 multiplied by the whole number of 2 plus 1, which is equal to 36/12. I could leave it that way, or I can simplify it down to 3, because 12, 24, 36. 3/5 multiplied by 6 is 3/5 multiplied by 6 over 1, which is 18 over 5. I can simplify that into 3, because 5, 10, 15, and 3/5. 30 divided by 1/3 is 30 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1, which is 90 over 1. Again, 90. So how many thirds does 30 have? 1 2/3 multiplied by 7/10. I go around the world. I multiply by my denominator by a whole number, and I add my numerator. 5/3 multiplied by 7/10 is equal to 35/30, which is equal to 1 5/30, which oddly enough is not simplified, but I could use that answer. It's 1 1/6 to be simplified. 11/15 multiplied by 5/6. I multiply straight across. 11 multiplied by 5 is 55. And 15 multiplied by 6, I'm going to take over to the side and multiply it. There's 30, carry the 3, 90, so 55/90. Now I know, because both of these numbers end in a 5 and a 0, that 5 can go into both, and 5 goes into 55 11 times, and 5 goes into 90 18 times. So my final answer is 11/18. Man, I just kind of deleted some of my work so I can have enough room. I end up drawing over everything. Wow, okay, so 1/8 divided by 7 is like saying 1/8 multiplied by 1/7. I multiply straight across, and I get 1 over 56. So 1/56 is my final answer. Number 13. 15 divided by 8. I could write this automatically. Boom. 15 my numerator, 8 is my denominator. Or I can show you guys with 15 over 1 multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 1/8, is equal to 15 over 8. Now I can simplify into 1 7/8, and I can check my answer by multiplying my denominator by my whole number and adding my numerator, which is 15. 24 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1, which is equal to 72 over 1, which is equal to 72. Again, how many thirds are in 24? 5/8 multiplied by 4/25, I multiply straight across, and 20 is my numerator, and 200 will be my denominator, and I can multiply off to the side. I have room, or you might have a whiteboard. I can multiply off to the side to find my denominator when I have numbers like this. And I know that 20 definitely goes into 200, right? It goes in there 10 times, because I could go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 80, 200. So I have a final answer simplified of 1/10. 3/7 multiplied by 2/3 is 6/21, which I can simplify down to 2/7. 1/9 divided by 4 is 1/9 multiplied by 1/4. Again, the reciprocal of 4. When I multiply it across, it's 1/36. Then that's my final answer. Number 18. 17 is like saying 17 over 1. And I divide by 1/2. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. I get an answer of 34. That's like saying in 34, how many halves do you have? A fire station is 9 kilometers from the library. Tracy walked 3/5 of the distance. How far did Tracy walk? So 9, and I'm going to multiply by 3/5. And remember, 9 is like saying 9 over 1. So I multiply straight across. I get 27 over 5. I could say she walked 27/5, or she walked 5 2/5 kilometers. And that's my final answer. Notice I have my equation, which I included, and I have my answer with the label. That's always important too. Tony usually saves 1/5 of his allowance. Last week, he only saved 2/3 as much. How much of his allowance did he save last week? Well, I'm going to take my 1/5, and I'm going to multiply by 2/3. I'm going to multiply straight across, and that's 2/15. So he saved 2/15 of his allowance. A fabric designer is placing beaded stars on her fabric. She decides to place 1 star in the middle of every 3rd yard. So 1/3 yard. How many beaded stars will she place on 8 yards of fabric? I'm actually going to model this, and this is how it's kind of put together in my head. So I just have a piece of fabric. I'm not going to do all 8 yards, but I'm going to try and do half, which is 4. So I'm drawing these each yard, and I'm going in with another color and drawing the thirds. So in each yard, there's thirds, right? So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 equals 1 yard. So those are my blue lines. Now I need to go back with my green and finish out. Again, this is just 4 yards, so it's half. I'm going to go back with another color, and I'm going to do the stars, but I want to make sure I label this so you guys can, get a glimpse into my brain. So there's 1 yard, and there's 1/3. Now I'm going back in, and I can put stars in. So there's 1, 2, 3, because every star is going to be on a third. So right now I'm noticing a pattern of having 3 stars in each yard, because there are 3/3 in 1 yard. So when I count these through, and this is just 4 yards, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's how many thirds I have in 4 yards. So in 4 yards, if I have 12, that means in 8 yards, that'll be doubled. My pattern is not going to change. It's going to be the same thing. So again, 4 yards is equal to 12 stars. So 8 yards is going to be equal to 24 stars. And that's how my brain is looking at this word problem. Now, it didn't run off and get afraid and, hide. It tackled it with ease by using a model. You too can do that as well.